Jesus Ferreira is terrorizing the Caribbean nations and has now tied Landon Donovan with the most hat tricks in US men's national team history, and he is the first American player with back-to-back hatties for the national team. He is only 22 years old, and depending on who you ask, he is currently 3rd or 4th on the depth chart at striker. This isn't about Jesus Ferreira proving himself to those that don't rate him. This was a match that proved just how far the US has come in a few short years. Our team of players that are anywhere from 3rd to 6th on the depth chart in their position can still win the group in a Gold Cup and go toe-to-toe with some of the best A teams out there in CONCACAF like Jamaica. If anything, I'm walking away from this match hoping with all of my might that Jesus Ferreira, Cade Cowell, and DeJuan Jones make a move to Europe as soon as possible. I thought overall the team played a fantastic match and won in a comprehensive fashion. Now from top to bottom, despite a few laggards, we'll talk about everyone on the squad, the US men's national team has started to build momentum into the group stages at this Gold Cup. Starting from the back, Matt Turner and the back line were excellent. I mean, Brian Reynolds and DeJuan Jones are ready to step into those backup positions anytime that maybe DeAndre Yedlin's name would have been used in the past. And for me, DeJuan Jones especially, I thought was just everywhere on the pitch last night, and I'm glad to see it because he's one of those players from MLS that has been ready to break into the national team for a long time, and he's taking his chances now. For Reynolds, it looks like his physical gifts are now starting to match his technical ability. I lost count of the amount of times he was able to beat a player on the dribble and get into a dangerous area. In the midfield, I do think some people are going to disagree with me here, but I was disappointed a little bit by Gianluca Busio, and reading the comments again after the game, I think I may differ from how a lot of you felt about him and his performance, but in my opinion, he was just playing backwards a little bit too much, and he had some poor touches for someone that is meant to be a midfield maestro and provides some confidence to the rest of the team. Now, I think a lot of people will walk away from this match forgetting that James Sands was even on the pitch, when you don't even realize that a central defensive midfielder or a number 6 is on the pitch. They've been doing exactly the job that they were out there to do. James Sands continues to be one of the most consistent performers across the entire team during this Gold Cup run. Djordje Mihailovic, as my 8-year-old nephew would say, is him. He is Djordje Mihimovic. The speed of play, the on-field IQ, the ability to match all of that with the consistent quality to execute the right pass with the right touch. It's just beautiful to see and watch, and I want to see him with the senior team because if we play a 4-3-3 with an attacking midfielder, I think that Mihailovic has a case that he would be Gio Reyna's backup in that position. Outside of Jesus Ferreira, the front line was pretty disappointing for me. I mean, Roldan is Roldan, but he should have had his first goal for the US, but he scuffed a shot at the penalty spot, and Ali Zendejas played his way out of the lineup and maybe even played his way out of the roster entirely. So many wasted touches, errant passes, and waiting a little bit too long to pull the trigger on passes or shots that were on. And let's talk about Jesus Ferreira, man. I mean, this first goal is actually a thing of beauty. He has done this so many times in the last 2 matches, even in MLS, where he is in the perfect position to receive a pass in the box and he takes a touch past the defender with his first touch. Only this time, his first touch is past the defender and at about shin height. He takes his chance and slots it home on the volley. Lovely stuff from the man that wrote the Bible. Let's talk big winners from this match and from the Gold Cup group stage. Now, competitive level aside, back-to-back hat tricks tells you everything you need to know. All our players can do is play the team that they are on the field against and the opponent that they're against, whoever that is. And since the dawn of CONCACAF, the US has played Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean nations. He needs to go and prove himself in Europe. And in the form that he's in at 22 years old, I feel like Dallas will get offers over $10 million for him. And I also want to shout out Tobes Laroni on the Discord for It's Called Soccer. He made a comment that was something like, if I told you a 22-year-old American was constantly in the MVP and Golden Boot races in Major League Soccer and has 3 hat tricks for the US men's national team, we'd all be pretty damn excited about that guy. But slap a name on him like Jesus Ferreira and everybody downplays his accomplishments. Like I said before, DeJuan Jones could legitimately be the backup left back for Anthony Robinson. I know we're talking about one match here, but I have been watching this dude rip it up for the New England Revolution, and I am telling you, he is good enough for the national team. Now this leads me to the question of the day. Do you think Julian Gressel is a winner from the 30 minutes that he played? Because it seems like, to me, He could even be in the best 23 as a Graham Zusi-like option that can swing in crosses if we need that type of player on the pitch. What do you think? All right, next up in big winners, Jalen Neal, bro. What the hell? Where did this guy come from? He is showing so much composure, so much IQ at such a young age for a developing center back that I don't necessarily think he's A-team ready, but he's really not that far off. I really did not expect this from him. From his performance as a surprise substitute against Jamaica that really steadied the ship in the backline till now, he has built a trust with his squad, and in turn, I trust him when he's out there wearing the stars and stripes. We also have to talk about Cade Cowell. He is now putting the puzzle pieces together. For the US men's national team, he's now got his first goal for the senior team after leading the U20s and scoring at the World Cup last month. I think he needs to show a bit more production in Major League Soccer, but god damn, on his day, Cade Cowell is a monster now and will only grow with more playing time in a competitive environment. Can this dude get more confident? I really don't think so. I know it's late to start tinkering with the Gold Cup starting 11, but I have to think that Cowell is making a case that he should be starting over Zendejas and possibly Roldan as well. Also, a big shout out to the crowd in Charlotte. It was nice to see some of the upper bowl taken as well for a US game. The sour taste from the Nations League final against Canada is still front and center for me, but the support in the Gold Cup that we've seen in Chicago, St. Louis, and now Charlotte has been stellar so far this tournament. The team now will have a week to train before taking on what will most likely be Canada, but it could be Guatemala or Guadalupe, depending on how the matches on Tuesday night shake out. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and if you've seen some rumors that some big teams are out for Taylor Booth, you might want to find a little bit more about why those teams are looking at him in this scouting report, which you can watch next. Peace.